of understanding the roots and the branches. Number 4. Yeah, right, isn't that wonderful? I love it. That right there, he wrote his notes. By the way, a lot of these boarding houses are run by women. And the reason why was because most of them were widows. And they knew business, and they knew how to do these things. And so you got Mrs. House's boarding house, Mrs. Marshall's boarding house, Mrs. Daly's boarding house, and they could keep the men in line. Okay, number 4. You have to go up just a bit, please. Now maybe number 4, wait, you're not visual anymore, not contextual anymore. I want to know biography. So one way to do it is to go names, ages, education, experience, and biographies of the delegates. How old were they? How young were they? Where did they come from? Where did they go to school? The more I know about who they are, perhaps the more I can get into what they say. So this is number 4. I'm just going to skip it. That's the 4th way, the biographical fashion. Go back to the, please. Number 5, major themes of the convention. Some of us have got to this point where we say, yeah, but I just don't have the stamina. I just don't have the interest, although I've been encouraged. I just don't have the drive. Well, how about if we were to look at themes? The rule of secrecy. If I knew more about the rule of secrecy, or how about if I knew about the slave trade? Or what about judicial review? Did judicial review begin with Marbury versus Madison? Did the Frames ever talk about that? So if you're interested in, say, themes or issues, this is the place to go. That would be number 5. Number 6. This is where young scholars, and I don't need to distinguish that the rest of the people are not scholarly. It's just that we come at it at different levels and because of different responsibilities. Young scholars have told me that this part, the Constitutional Convention as a 4-act drama, is the one that really helps them because it helps them to serialize. It helps them to break down and own the convention. Instead of 1,000 pages and just go, your eyes roll. If you can break it down into, like Plato broke the Republic down into 10 books, each with a theme. So what I've done is to break down the convention, the 100 days of the convention, into a 4-act drama. Difficult to do because we know the outcome. Nevertheless, Act 1, the alternative plans. Act 2, the Connecticut Compromise. Intermission. Now, Lloyd, you're really going too far. I understand you're trying to make all of this alive. But no, there was an intermission. There was a 7 to 10 day intermission. A committee was created. Act 1 and Act 2 is jabber. Talk, 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 talk. I changed my mind, such and such and such and such. And then what happens is pull everything together and now create a committee to come up with a draft of the Constitution. That's the intermission. Act 3, the Committee of Detail report, dealing with the structure and power of Congress. And particularly, that's where you want to go if you want to talk about slavery. Act 4, the end is in sight. The Brearley Committee is the one that takes care of the presidency. You want to do work on the presidency? It's scene 1. Then the signing. Again, I could go into detail, but I'm keeping that for when those of you who are in my section of 600, that's what we will spend the rest of the day on. Namely, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, talking about the alternative plans, the give and the take, the compromises, who changed their mind. In other words, trying to recreate the dynamics of what it means to, you don't know what's going to happen when you get in. If you want to count the number of times Madison lost, what does it mean? See, I don't think that Madison's Republic does not imply that Madison is the founder. Madison's Republic, to me, says Madison is the compiler. He's the Cicero. He's the Plato. It's not just one framer, it's not even 4. There are 39 people who signed. There's a whole bunch of 16 more who came and went. But it is a dynamic enterprise where you've got leaders, you've got followers. You've got people who are more interested in structure, framers. You've got more people who are interested in tweaking powers, people who are reformers. You put them all together from different parts, you get a huge dynamic. That's what I want to recreate. And, by the way, how difficult it is to nation build. How difficult it is to constitutional create. And the thought that all we have to do is to drop over Iraq or drop over Afghanistan a copy of the Constitution and all will be well, defies what it means to build a constitution. It suggests that constitution building or nation building is easy. These people spoke the same language. They were basically of the same religion, and look how difficult it was for them. But they did it. They did it without a drop of blood being spilled. And I keep repeating that because that is what it seems to me September the 17th is about. It's about signing. It's about agreeing. And by the way, what is critical for me is not what happens when you win. One would hope that you would be magnanimous instead of rubbing it in people's faces. But what happens when you lose? You leave. Today, I fear that we sue when we lose. Or we are not satisfied. We can't accept the outcome. But that is an important lesson, it seems to me. What happens when you lose? I gave it my best shot. We'll try again. Oh, as you do, wait till next season. I mean, what can you do? But the season tickets are not going to be so easy to sell. Day-by-day summary. For those of you who are really policy wonks, you don't want this drama, this visual, this contextual. The day-by-day reminds you that every single day there's a proposition, a resolution, an amendment, a proposal on the ballot. Once you start wondering, well, you know, in the course of human events, let experience be our guide. What? If we were a foreign power. When all of that stuff is going on, you got to keep grounded. And how do you keep grounded? By realizing what's on the table. In other words, keep it simple. Keep your mind focused on what is going on. Otherwise, you get totally lost. And you'll say, I just don't understand. It's way beyond, as Obama would say, my paycheck. But you can actually understand what's going on if you say, on May the 28th, 16 rules adopted. I mean, I know it's very straightforward. There's nothing dramatic about this. May the 29th, the convention agreed to meet the following day. Scroll, please. Resolution 6, Resolution 5A, Resolution 4A. This is for those people who are extremely detail-oriented, who want to know where I stand, on which day. This is the way to follow it. Okay, if we go back. If you really... committee assignment chart. That's another way to look. For those people who are not just policy wonks, but interested in who gets on committees. And because we know, if you get on a committee, there's a certain responsibility, and there's also an opportunity to shape the next conversation. Because when you're on a committee, you've been delegated the responsibility. It's not that you get a rubber stamp, but you have a preferred privileged position, and you ought to be listened to. At least that's what the deliberative process is about. So you can see, if you go down, I've got here, keep on, all the committees with everybody on it, and you say, and maybe because you're interested in all this rough and tumble, you say, pass it, click. Oh, that's who he is. In other words, now I'm not working just from biography into detail, I'm getting you from detail back to biography. At least I'm trying to do that. Let's close, please. I'm going to end with two things. Thing one, this is something that I put together after 25 years. It's a day-by-day attendance record. Everybody voted by state and not by individual. So but there's a great interest, obviously, in the framers, not just simply the states from which they came. So this has taken a long time to put together. But if you enter the attendance record, what I've done is to link up the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4 with the attendance. So let's just say, go to June the 16th. It's still Act 1, no. Just use the scroll bar of Act 1, scroll across. I'll tell you each day of the convention. Keep going. June the 6th, I meant. Excuse me, I didn't say it. Yeah. June the 6th, right? So press on June the 6th. Bam, that'll tell you who's there on June the 6th, what went on June the 6th, and say, well, why is that important? Because it can help you understand the dynamics. Like, for example, a teacher stopped me one day and said, what's this, all this stuff you're talking about slavery? If slavery was important, Alexander Hamilton would have been there, would have been saying something, but he wasn't saying anything. I said, but he wasn't there. How do you know he wasn't there? Because he got bored, and he left. Right? So this is a way of keeping you honest and keeping you involved. See, I know you don't care to know this, but I don't know what James Madison was doing at 2:30 in the afternoon on June the 18th when Hamilton was babbling on. Where was he? What was he doing? Why did he? And then you can see some people left the room. There's a tavern across the street. I want to know the framers inside and out, just in case you didn't know. All right, we will end. If you go back to the main part, please. Right, yeah, one more back one. I mean, that's only like there you go. Well, please go back. That's right. If you wanted to see the attendance record in Microsoft instead of like this, just in case you did. I mean, I know that you're just eager for this stuff. Why don't you have a Mac? There you go. See, if you open this up, right, there you have your attendance record by person rather than by day. And so you can track absences, present, etc., etc. And to wrap the whole thing off, where are we going with this? Madison's notes. This is the ultimate. When you keep, go up, please, scroll up, please. Or get out of this. I don't know, I don't have the right language, Mitch. That's why you have to follow me. Scroll down, please. Notes. That's right at the top. Notes of debates in the Federal Convention of 1787. Click that. There's your calendar. There's the Madison's notes for all of it. So if you go to June the 6th, click on June the 6th. There it is. There's the notes. And if you want that to go back to the 4-act drama, the interactive map, you can. Thank you for coming to the Framers. I'll stick around for about 10 minutes or so. My class will meet at 1:30. I'll stick around for 10 minutes and give myself 15 minutes break. But any of you who have questions or anything, please feel free to ask here or to talk with me after.